welcome to the channel if you're new, or if you're not, I'm Alyssia and I'm stoked you're here. Today we are continuing to dive into cravings. This is part 2 of this mini series. Really, it's one video. I had to split into 2 because it was so long, but I do recommend watching the first one, which launched last week, which explains what cravings are. Are they physical, mental, emotional? What's the deal? And then I invite you to come back to this video where we actually dive into how to manage a craving when it arises. Now, let me tell you, my approach since healing my very negative relationship with food has significantly changed. Okay, so if you go online and you type in how to deal with cravings or whatever, they're gonna tell you things like don't keep it in the house, or make low-calorie swaps, or eat small snacks throughout the day so you're not hungry. And I'm gonna sit here and say, no! I don't advise any of these tactics, although I must say it with a light heart because I have definitely followed all of these and did for years when I felt owned by food. My approach now is very different. So let's take not keeping it in the house, for instance. This is a way to control external circumstances. If it's not there, I can't eat it. Easy, right? It makes it easier on my brain if I don't have to deal with the uncomfortable resistance that comes with having to choose to not eat it. But the problem is we can't control external conditions all the time, most of the time, and perfect conditions never exist. Okay, so it's like, have you ever wanted to go on a diet and you just want to wait until you have, a certain amount of days or weeks when there's nothing on the calendar that's going to get in the way and it has to be starting on a Monday? Or is it just me who is ruled by diet culture? Perfect conditions don't exist, and any effort to control means at some point when shit happens, because it will, we don't have the skills to deal with it. I used to try and control what my roommates or my boyfriend Christian would keep in the house. I'd say, you can't keep white cheddar Cheetos in the house because I can't open the bag without eating them all. Or we can't keep ice cream or cereal or Oreos or whatever in the house. I wasn't just trying to control my environment, I had to control everyone else's around me, and that wasn't fair. They need the freedom to choose what they want to eat too, and that's not up to me. So we talked about this in the Food Freedom series, this approach to not keep it in the house. It addresses the symptom of the problem, not the root, right? So the food is the symptom, the root is maybe it's stress or emotions or whatever. We think the problem right now is the food in the house. So what do? Not have it here. The food is the symptom of the problem. There's nothing inherently bad about Cheetos or ice cream or Oreos. It's how and why I'm turning to them that becomes a problem. So what's the root cause of this? It's my lack of skills, my lack of emotional regulation, or acknowledging, again, that emotions are real. I was feeling an emotional hunger and I had so much emotional distress that I didn't know what to do other than turn to the food. So not keeping it in the house doesn't help us build up the skills long term. It's a Band-Aid. And what I found when using this Band-Aid is the second that, someone came over to my house and brought one of these foods, or if I was at a party and the foods were there, I could not control myself and it triggered a binge. So let me be clear. This is your body and your choice. You can choose to not keep these things in the house. That's okay. It doesn't matter to me what you choose. All I'm saying is if you want to be free from the stress around food and health and feeling owned by it, at some point we have to confront these deep truths. I didn't confront them for a decade. So, you do it when the time is right for you. And I'm not saying that's now, but I'm encouraging you to just take a look and make the choice that is right for you right now. Okay, so what about the next Google suggestion with cravings? To make low-calorie swaps. Let me tell you what I don't like about this and what I saw in my personal experience. So I used to make a lot of desserts out of legumes, chickpea cookies and black bean brownies, and here's the thing, they can taste pretty good sometimes, but often we end up mentally resisting the alternative. So I have a craving for a real cookie and I don't let myself have it. The cookie is bad, it's not allowed, it's breaking the rules, there's no flexibility. And I think a bean cookie could be good enough, but mentally what I'm rebelling against is the rules. I don't want to feel owned by the rules. It's not really what I want, and so when I eat the bean cookie, it doesn't really satisfy, even if it tastes pretty good. When it comes to craving cookies and pizza and foods that wouldn't be classically labeled as nutritious, is it really being driven by the body? I mean, maybe it is, like we talked about earlier, a nutrient deficiency or something, or a hormonal urge, but is your body body telling you it needs cookies for survival. Probably not. If it were, you'd probably crave healthy foods with the nutrients of whatever you're lacking. So probably it's us wanting it for some deeper reason, right? The mind and body are connected. So it boils down again to the emotional or mental root, not the physical. It's not about the food. Okay, so the last suggestion via Google is eat small snacks throughout the day so that you're not hungry. So in the Food Freedom series, I talked about how our body functions and regulates because of these feedback loops. And I'll link that video below if you don't know what I'm talking about. But pretty much, if we don't listen to those signals that our body sends us, then our body can't regulate and it becomes dysregulated. So we talked about dieting and how when we deprive ourselves of eating when our body is signaling hunger, we start to tune it out and we can't tell anymore what's a signal. So not eating ignores those feedback loops and signals, but so does always eating. So I do health and life coaching and I work with a lot of clients who struggle with binge eating. And many of them at first, and this was true for myself as well, at first they can't tell if they're hungry or full. And then we go through all the tools and they start to get to know how to gauge their hunger and fullness. And what they realize is they start eating throughout the day at like a level 4 on their hunger scale. So if you don't know what a hunger scale is, I'll link the video below where I talk about it. But pretty much 1 is like you're not hungry at all, 10 is you're extremely hungry. And usually it's gonna be different for everyone, but we are gonna eat a meal when we're, at a 6 or 7. You don't wanna wait until you're 10. And so for these clients, these binge eating clients, when they start to realize, they start eating at a 4 before they're really hungry. Why are they doing this? To prevent the discomfort of being hungry. So they snack all day long. But hunger is normal. It is a normal signal, and we should let that feedback loop do what it's supposed to, which is signal us to eat. And when it does signal us, we should respond and eat. So again, this addresses the symptom and not the root. This approach, eating snacks all day long, it prevents the discomfort of ever being hungry, of ever letting a craving occur, rather than understanding why it might be happening. So the problem is not the food itself. It's not that we want the food. That's not a problem. And it's not the craving. All of these things are okay. We don't need to hide the chocolate so that we can't reach it, or make cookies with beans unless you want to. More power to you. I did it for a decade. For long-term healing, what we need is to understand these deep roots of what's often an emotional hunger and make the space to explore what's there.
Emotional hunger.
Okay, but what about cravings though? I hear you. How do we actually deal with them? Not just saying what not to do along with this abstract emotional gibberish. Just kidding. But also seriously, what do we do? So we touched on this last week briefly, and this is where it becomes important. Cravings are sensations in the body. Everything we experience in life is through the sensations in the body. So there are 5 physical senses. You've got your sight and smell and taste and hearing and touch. And in the mindfulness framework, there's a 6th sense door, they call it. So each of these is a door, an access point for the sensation. The 6th sense door is thinking or emotions, mental events. So every experience in life comes through one of these 6 sense doors. And this is our only access to the present moment. I often use the example of smell. So if I'm smelling something, if I'm smelling a cup of coffee right now, I'm smelling it in this present moment, right now, right? Now, if I'm thinking about something that I smelled yesterday, like an apple pie or something, I smelled it yesterday. I'm not smelling it today in this present moment. I'm thinking about smelling it. So this is mindfulness. What's actually here now? What am I accessing through one of those sense doors right now? Simple. So a craving shows up as one of those sensations, and likely it's a physical sensation through the body, one of those sense doors of the body, plus the thoughts about the sensation that create some meaning or story. So some physical sensation comes up. Maybe I smell something, or maybe my stomach grumbles, and then I have a thought that arises along with it. I want cake. And then along comes the meaning or the story. Maybe it's I'm PMSing, or I haven't had anything sweet in a while, or maybe I just worked out and so my body needs fuel and I deserve it, or whatever the story may be. The point is, It doesn't matter whether a craving is mental, emotional, or physical, okay? The path forward can be the same, and it's simple when we address the root. There can be many symptoms to address, but there's likely only one root response that will reveal an authentic path forward. Mindfulness is all about choosing a response. Rather than habitually, mindlessly reacting, we intentionally respond. So instead of trying to decipher, is this craving, mental or physical or emotional, and getting caught up in rationalizing or intellectualizing the experience, which is all outer wisdom, thinking, well, I'm craving this, and so it must mean I'm deficient in this nutrient or whatever. Instead, that doesn't matter. We can tune into the raw data of this moment. Mindfulness is what is happening now in the body. So how can my inner wisdom guide me here? How can I listen to my body and then respond? That's the question. There's nothing wrong with chocolate or potato chips or fries. It becomes a problem when we pawn the desire off on this external craving, right? We become a victim to it, like, woe is me for having this craving. Instead, can we just take responsibility and acknowledge the truth? This is what's happening now. There's a desire for chocolate. This is okay. Chocolate is okay. I'm okay. And then we can use our inner and outer wisdom to determine, is this how I want to serve my body and my mind and heart right now? There's no judgment needed. One tool I like to use with clients and in workshops, and also in the binge eating recovery program that I certified in last year, and I'm gonna share it with you today, is the body scan. So this is a type of meditation that can help us re-regulate our bodies and our emotions and really start to learn how to experience cravings as sensations in the body so we don't feel overwhelmed, and then we can take some wise action when they show up to choose what we want to do. So I have done an audio recording and linked it below. If you want to download it, I'll email it to you for free. It's about 15 minutes long, and I advise people, especially those struggling with relationships with food, to try this as a daily practice. Also, if you are interested in working together one-on-one, I offer health coaching and life coaching. You can check out my website in the description box. Also, if you think this video would help anyone you know and could share it to social media, that would be amazing. And as a reminder, I have compiled all of the food freedom style content I've shared into a course with added worksheets, tools, journal prompts, guided meditations, and more. So if you want everything in one place and easily accessible to support your journey to food freedom, that is now available at mindovermunch.com/foodfreedom. People who sign up for one-on-one coaching, by the way, will actually get this course for free. So I will link those services below as well. I appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to kindly share how you approach cravings, and who knows, your tactics might help someone else reading them. So thank you for being here. I'll see you next week, and remember, it's all a matter of mind over munch.